Hey guys, how's it going? Don't buy Turser guitars. Ever. Or ever again. Don't try claiming a warranty if you already got one. If you do, get rid of it somehow. I'm not kidding. Seriously, you guys know that I bought a Turser acoustic a while back, August, so about 2 months ago. I've had approximately about 10 hours of playtime on that thing. And I really didn't play that hard on it. I played it like, you play a normal guitar. Your basic chords and some bar chords, open chords. Tried some string bending, but it has crappy action for that part, compared to an electric. So really I didn't do much of that hardly at all. Because I'm not one of these lead guys, I'm a rhythm guy. So, excuse me. Anyway, developed a fret issue, as some of you will remember from my I Feel Stupid video. And I've deleted it, and I've deleted the review video. Because what's the point? I no longer have the guitar. I took it, well, let me tell you how it started. I called Turser USA, because it's the only number I could find through Google. Called them up, and I explained what was going on with the frets. And I says, these got to be brass. I says, they weren't when I bought it. They were like, nice silver coating. And, they even show silver on your website. Pretty much every guitar you do has, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. So anyway, so I'm playing this thing, and, I really don't pay a lot of attention to my guitars. I pay attention when I go and buy one, and I thought, hey, nice frets and nice... This thing was well done. Because I will not buy a guitar with brass frets. I'm not stupid, okay? I may feel stupid sometimes, but I'm not stupid. Okay, I know my stuff. And so I got deceived for the first time in my life, because all that beautiful glitter is gone off the fretboard now, and it's like, I'm looking at my guitar the other night, and it's like, that doesn't look right. And that's when I discovered the brass. I discovered a lot of flattened out frets. Barely any of them had any peaks anywhere. And I'm like, I really didn't even play this guitar hard. Like, what's going on with these frets? So the silver can also hide a lot of problems, because even the guy at the music store mentioned that he took a good look at the guitar. He says, that thing wasn't even dressed right at the factory. I says, yeah, and it got past me too. So hey, that glitter stuff, hey, that can be deceiving. Anywho, I called Turser USA. I explained all this to them. They said, oh, no problem, we'll just send you out a new guitar. We'll just replace it. It's warranty, man. It's covered for like 5 years, like the website says, and 3 years for this, and blah, blah, blah. So it's all in black and white. It's covered. All their guitars, that's what they're doing. And I'm like, cool, right on. He says, I need your invoice, and of course a description of the complaint, and I'll have it done right up for you, no problem. Oh, great. So I thought, a couple hours after, checked the email again. Got an email from them, and I thought, okay, this is going to be one of two things. Hopefully it's the better one where, hey, your item's on its way, it's been shipped out. No, it's, sorry, I didn't realize you were in Canada. I'm pretty sure I told them that, but, oh well, okay. Anyways, so we can't deal with you. We have to send you to our Canadian distributor for Turser. And of course, you know what a distributor is. If you don't, here's what a distributor is. He's the guy who runs his little office, who sends all these nice little goodies out to all the retail outlets. So everybody's making money, you know what I mean? So anyhow, I got the phone number, the email address. It's up to you which one you want to use. Here's the info. Okay, and he apologized for all this. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I called the Canadian office. Why not? It doesn't cost me a thing on my phone. And I explained the situation to them. And they're like, and you want us to do what? Send me a replacement guitar under warranty with, thinking, real frets would be nice this time. Okay, I says, I've been deceived, okay, and it's hard to get anything past me. I'm a trade machinist. I know my metals. And I says, those looked like they should for good quality frets. They look, silverish in color, and, and so that's either stainless steel or soft or hard nickel. And hard nickel are actually, I like them the best, but anyway. So, and I'm not giving you a warranty on that. You bought the guitar, you played it, the frets are flattened. Buddy, I've had the guitar for 2 months. I've got only about maybe 10 hours of playtime, and not really hard playtime. I says, I did a few string bendings. I played it normally on, your bar chords and stuff, and I says, most of my frets are flattened. You know, they're like getting really super flat. Some have still a little bit peaks here and there. I got a couple frets there near where you're playing your regular basic D and stuff. I says, instead of a cut notch, which you'll get into soft nickel, which sucks, these are like little tiddlies coming out the sides of the top of the fret bar, right? So it's getting squashed like it should be, but it's getting over squashed, and you know, I said, this is junk. Well, it's only a $140 guitar. Well, no, actually it's $160. They gave me 20 bucks off because I bought a bunch of other junk with it, and I said, here, give me a deal, and they did. Well, so what? You paid 140 bucks, you got a 140 buck guitar with 10 hours of use? No, frets don't wear out that quick unless they're actually brass. So I said, it's like I explained to the guy in the use. Somebody put some glitter coating on instead of the real frets that are supposed to be on there, so that it appears to look like quality frets until you start playing it and all that stuff just sort of disintegrates somewhere, and I don't know how or where because I couldn't see little flakes anywhere, so I don't know what the stuff was, but whoever did it did a real good job on it. Except it wore off quick and wore out the frets really super fast because they're brass, and brass does not belong on any steel string guitar. It says no company that has any respect for their stuff is going to put brass frets on a guitar with steel strings. I mean, even nylon strings are pushing it, you know. And I says, I've owned classical guitars with brass frets, but they were like, you know, $70 guitar, right? But I says, that's what my parents bought me. They didn't know better. You know, so I says, I've had that problem before and had to deal with it. And, but at least I knew they were brass. You know, the company didn't try to doctor it up and make it look like it's something it's not. And I says, and on their website it shows that they're a silvery color. You know, so, yeah. And, so anyways, he gets more and more rude with me as the conversation goes on, and the bottom line is he sends me to the store where I bought it from. Now, I don't blame the store I bought it from. I don't hold anything against them for this garbage that's going on, and so I'm not mad at them. So I said, all right. So I went to the store I got it from, told them the problem, told them how I was very sorely mistreated by Turser Canada office, and how I was almost wonderfully treated by the American office, which I think, given the choice, I think I'd rather deal with the Yankees on this one. Those guys are cool. You know, because it was a warranty issue, and it was supposed to be honored. And if the USA doesn't have a problem, why does Canada? Right? So the Canada shouldn't, and they're representing themselves and the USA. So hey, you're supposed to honor it. It's in black and white. This is the guaranteed against manufacturer's defects and blah 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 for 5 years for this and 3 years for this and blah blah blah. Okay, it's black and white. That's legal and binding, pal. Okay, and that's written on the website. Well, they don't care in Canada apparently about any of that stuff. So I told the store what was going on. We will deal with this. We will make you happy in the end. One way or another, we'll get this sorted out. And he says, I'm kind of curious what metal this is too myself, because I'm not quite sure what it is. I says, well, to me it looks like brass. Maybe there might be a little bit of bronze in there, but not very little. You know, and bronze is a little bit stronger than brass is, because bronze is actually used in bearings, okay, in a type of an oil bearing. So it's pretty durable stuff, you know. But there's not very much of it in there if there is any. But I said, that's now brass. You know, you can tell and see that that's brass. So he investigated. He found out, of course, that there was definitely brass, and he was told a couple other little alloys in there. I says, wow, they're pretty crappy then, because you know, you can just use the string and file it down to the fretboard in no time, you know, if you want to. You know, I said, do yourself a favor, stick your finger here and do this. See how fast that comes off? Just no fret, look at that. You know, I mean, that's garbage, you know. And I said, this is what I tried to explain. And I said, the USA company was like, well, that shouldn't be, you know. I mean, stuff can happen, obviously, you know. And apparently it happened to me. How many others, I have no idea. So anyway, I left the guitar with them. They said they'd look into it, and that's what they found out. They called me today, actually, and said that's part of what they found out, and also that the Canadian company won't help them out either. They've written off the guitar and said, no, we're not honoring any warranty, period. Doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay, that's just not cool. So I hope the USA clamps down on them and says, you're iced. You're not dealing our products anymore. You're not going to honor them. That's not right. So anyway, so that's why I'm saying don't buy J Turser products anymore. Just not worth the hassle, believe me, because if I got stung and I got deceived, and it's hard to get something past me, you know, that's you don't want to deal with companies that are gonna, have poor end machines. And after 10 hours of playing on a guitar, to have the frets that bad, they're not nickel, they're not steel, they're not stainless steel, and they're not a soft or a hard nickel for that matter. That takes brass to do that, to wear out that quick. And so anyways, they called me today to tell me, that's part of what he found out, but also that J Turser is not wanting to warranty nothing. And so there were some options. And option one was to attempt to redress the frets. I says, that ain't gonna happen. There ain't much fret left there as it is. He says, well, I did notice they did do a bit of a poor dressing job. I says, well, they hit it really good with that glitter stuff, they call silver or whatever. Anyways, he says, well, we can try that. I says, well, feel free to knock yourself out. I really don't think you should, because I know how brass reacts to a file, and I know the files that you need to use. And yeah, you're going to get a couple strokes down there, and there won't be any frets left. I have personal experience with this from years ago with a classical guitar I tried to redress with my teacher, and we found the same problem. Just a couple strokes and we're down to the fretboard. Good for brass. Yay! Brass is so good. Not. Anyways, well, there's a couple other options. I could upgrade you to a better guitar. I says, I have no money. I've explained that already. It took enough to get what I did, because I had other things to pay, even though I should have just... I should have put off the other stuff, guys, and just gone right to Music City, where I've normally bought from most of the time, and just picked up that Yamaha and, worried about my other stuff later. But I didn't. I thought, hey, I might as well just do this, this, and this, and, this seems to be a really good guitar, and it played well, the action was nice, it seemed good, great machine heads, and then I felt so bad about doing that review afterwards, finding out I got stung with the frets. It's like, oh, man, this is... And so I felt bad, because usually nothing gets by me, and this time something did, and it really made me feel bad, especially after giving such a good review overall on that guitar. And so yeah, so now I'm actually withdrawing all those statements, because yeah, you don't treat a customer like crap. Just everything that happened. And so anyway, he says, well, another option is in-store credit, but because it's been out for more than 30 days, you are going to get nailed a restocking fee. I says, oh, great. All right, hit me with it. What am I going to be allowed to spend? So he come back and he says, 125. I says, I lost 15 bucks in tax. Well, I lost all the tax money, of course, on the 140, but, I still lost 15 bucks either way, plus the taxes on the 140. And I figured, oh, well, all right. Well, I'll be in. I'll see what I can find in the store to buy. So anyways, I walked out of there with a PH7 phaser by Ibanez. This thing's actually pretty neat. You're not getting a review yet. I'm playing with this for a while first. I'm going to beat it up a little. But I checked out a couple of pedals, and that was the only one out of the three that we tried, because even the analog phaser, I found it sucked. But that's my preference, and the other one just scared the hell out of me and hurt my ears with some of the sounds that came out of it. It was just weird. So yeah, I like freaky pedals and all, but that was just way over weird. So this one, actually, I played around a little bit with it, and I like it. Okay, I have no complaints yet. So anyway, so that's how we did it, and I got a power supply with it too, so I didn't have to, go through 10 million batteries, because we all know pedals eat batteries like candy, just sucks the daylights out of a battery in like a couple of hours, and done. Oh, there goes another battery, and even Duracells don't last that long, and they're not cheap. So yeah, power pack works. So anyway, so that's what happened, and I walked in there with that, and so in one sense, I'm kind of happy that, even though they're not going to do anything even for their store, like J Turser Canada is not even going to help their store out with this, or me, let alone. At least the store helped me out, and I got something out of the deal. But now Christmas is coming, all my plans are now shot for any YouTube videos that I wanted to do. So now I've got to recalibrate some videos for music that I wanted to do, because now I'm only now I only have my electric for now, and it's going to be probably, if money goes the right way, crossing my fingers, I should have the Yamaha that I should have bought in the first place. I should have that by the end of February, because I'm going to have to put it on layaway and make payments as I get money, and you know, because I just don't have a lot of money. So, but at least I'll get another acoustic eventually. So, because I need both to do what I need to do for my videos for you guys. You know, not just in my RC, but my teaching videos and other stuff, and some of the other music videos I'm going to be doing on top of that. So I need both guitars. And so anyways, that's the story. And yeah, so if you're thinking about buying a J Turser, think twice, please. Stay away from them. I mean, if you're in the States, you're probably going to get treated like gold. Too bad I wasn't an American. I would have been treated like gold. But yeah, the Canadian office definitely was very rude with me, very ignorant. Really didn't like the guy, didn't like how he treated me, and definitely, I mean, even my store here where I bought it from, like I said, I hold nothing against the store. They were treated poorly too, because, again, they're writing off something that has a valid warranty claim and complaint on it, you know, and they don't want to honor it. That ain't good, and that shows me a lot of mistrust, you know. So yeah, I'd be very leery on that one. But also scrutinize any brand of guitar, no matter what the price. I mean, I've been buying guitars all my life, but more so since I started to learn guitar when I was 14. And I've had a lot of guitars in my life so far, in and out for various reasons of life happening and stuff. And I've owned even Martins and everything else. And so I know guitars, you know, and fooling me, it's hard to fool me. And this time I got fooled, and I really didn't like how it felt, because it made me feel bad, especially after doing that review. And then not long after doing the review, it did that, and I'm like, oh man, this just sucks. Because I take pride in the fact that I have knowledge, I know what I'm talking about when I'm doing reviews on any products for you guys, you know, and I'm really thorough into the stuff, you know, because I learn this stuff all the time, and I don't know everything. I'm not a big, huge expert here, but I consider myself very good and very well versed in anything when it comes to, you know, if it flies or drives, it's for me, right? But also with the music thing too, I'm really good with the guitar end of things. I do have some catching up to do on pedals, but, you know, a few other gizmos, but, I mean, even guitars, I know them, and this one actually fooled me, and that kind of hurt, you know, and surprised me that actually was able to happen. And but I'm not perfect, and I know that, and I know you guys have said, you know, hey, nobody's perfect. And I said, yeah, I know, I understand that. It's just how I feel and how I felt about it. But now what I have right now is a lot of anger, because I don't like being ripped off, and I don't like seeing people get ripped off either, which is why when I do the reviews, I get so thorough into them. You know, I don't do a quickie 5-minute review and then say, oh, it's a great product, blah, 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 blah. You know, I take the time, I learn the device, I learn about it, and then, you know, let you guys know my honest opinions and results based on that, so that, you know, you either will make a good choice, or you maybe shouldn't make the choice at all, you know, because if I say something's garbage, trust me, it's garbage. I'm not going to BS. I don't candy coat reviews, you know, I tell you the goods straight up. And, you know, and so I thought I'd do this video to let you guys know, not just as a rant, but also to stay clear of the J Tursers. If you're thinking about J Turser guitars at all, I would definitely recommend staying clear of them, because after this mess, I don't trust them again, you know, and I won't, you know. And I had a J Turser electric once, and it was a great guitar, and it was, you know, a very cheap guitar too. That's why, you know, when that guy at the Canada office said, well, you get what you pay for, blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, I had a Turser electric before that wasn't that much more money, and it was great. you know, but it was electric and it was great and it had great frets and everything. I mean, it was a good guitar, you know, but this thing, yeah, I should have just followed my gut. And yeah, well, for now on, I'm gonna follow my gut, and that's just the thing. Because when your gut tells you you shouldn't buy something, there's a reason usually for it, and it's not always about the money issue. It's about there may be something about this product, and that's why I always tell you guys too, don't ever stop at my videos when it comes to anything with RCs, guitars, whatever the gizmo is that I'm showing you or reviewing for you. Do not stop at just my channel. Look at other people's channels too. Look at all the online reviews you can that you can actually find that are honest. Stay the heck away from 5-star reviews because they're just not reviews. Okay, and a lot of that stuff isn't even reviews. It's great, fast shipping, great service, blah blah blah. Where's the review in there? You know what I mean? And people will still give 5-star reviews even though they have good and bad points. Still, nothing deserves 5 stars. Nothing is perfect. That's why I can't give anything a 5-star. I've only ever done 2 that are 4 3/4. And I think there was only 2. 1 or 2 anyways, and that was pushing it. But they deserved it, you know, for being so good of a star rating. But yeah, that's where we're at. So anyways, guys, thanks for you know, taking the time to watch the whole video, to listen to what I have to say. And I just hope in future that when you make your choices on guitars, whether it's new guitar, used guitar, no matter what the brand, investigate, especially what those frets are made out of. You really should know what those frets are made out of. And if the store can't answer it, you get a hold of the manufacturer. And you find out from them what those frets are made out of, what the durability, lifespan can be expected on them. And don't accept some excuse of, well, it depends on how much you play the guitar. Because I had 10 hours in on that guitar, and those frets were done. That is unacceptable. 10 hours for $140 in tax, not acceptable whatsoever. Okay, brass being on any guitar with steel strings, definitely not acceptable. Okay, so, you know, and weak materials, period, right? Any weak material is not acceptable for frets, okay? Not one bit, because the weaker it is, the faster she flies apart, man. And so definitely not acceptable. So find out what it is, then research those metals and those alloys, and then decide from there. But anyways, that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. And, you know, leave your comments, leave your questions. I'll do the best as I can to answer them. As always, have a good one.